Hello everyone, this is Arwen from Evenstar. Sorry I am a minute or two late, just had to do some essential oil cure for my 12-year-old for his cough that seems to have come on since he went to bed, funnily enough. But today we are talking about essential oils for another purpose. We're talking about essential oils for common digestive complaints. So this is something that I guess comes up pretty frequently in my practice because we all do tend to put a lot of stress into our digestive system, or the symptoms of our stress show up in our digestive system. So it is a common area of complaint for many people. And also digestion is top of mind for me at the moment because, as some of you may have gathered from my social media stuff, I'm doing the Clever Guts diet at the moment. So checking out my own gut microbiome, which, as you know, I do go on and on about. And yeah, just thought that I should go through the process of getting my own checked out, analysed, and doing this diet, which is Michael Mosley's Clever Guts diet, to get my gut microbiome in the best condition it can be in. And I'm certainly finding, after having done it now for about a week and a half, that I have to say, of the few things that I've cut out of my diet, because my diet was actually really good compared to most people, especially the few things I've cut out. So basically I'm being gluten and dairy free completely, which were pretty low things on my list of stuff I ate anyway. And I'm feeling a lot more energetic, both physically and mentally, and yeah, certainly noticing stuff going on in my gut. So anyway, let's get on to today's topic, but that is one of the reasons why digestion was coming to mind for me a lot at the moment. So I want to talk about 3 single essential oils that are really common ones, and you'll probably find yourself intuitively going for them as common ingredients in the kitchen that we include in a lot of foods, and they're included because they are great for digestion, and people have known that for as long as people have been around, really. And also one particular blend that I love from doTERRA, which is a great sort of cure-all for digestive issues. So first of all, I would like to say I do use exclusively doTERRA essential oil products. The reason I use them is that I believe very much in their purity, and I love the way that they go about harvesting their crops and their ethical approach to helping the communities that they work with to get the crops, and they grow the plants where their natural habitat is. So I love all that stuff about the organisation. Their approach to essential oils is that their oils are certified pure, therapeutic grade oils, and that therefore you can and should, according to doTERRA, take them internally. Now, there is a big caveat on that, and especially when we're doing and talking about the gut microbiome. So essential oils, many essential oils have antibacterial properties. Now, all essential oils are actually really strong natural therapeutic products, so they're not to be sniffed at, and they should be treated with caution and like you would any other medicinal product. So where an essential oil is antibacterial, the problem with using them internally is that the antibacterial properties will not recognise whether they're destroying good or bad bacteria. So if you're taking them internally, especially for digestive complaints, you're potentially harming your natural gut flora, and that's going to, in the end, do you more harm than good in the long term. So I do use the oils internally, but I would never use them for more than a week at a time, and I would certainly recommend that you use them with a great probiotic product, or making sure you're taking lots of probiotic foods like yogurt, all the fermented foods, kimchi, sauerkraut, all those kinds of lovely things that put great bacteria into your gut. And if you don't eat them very much, you should, but otherwise make sure you take a great supplement. So that is just what I wanted to say up front about doTERRA essential oils and using them internally. So onto the oils. So the three I want to talk about, the individual ones. The first one is peppermint. So many people do like to enjoy a peppermint tea after a meal, and the reason for this is that, as I said before, it's been known for centuries that that peppermint has some great properties for the digestive system. So these include that it's analgesic, so it's a painkiller. It's anti-inflammatory, which is great because a lot of discomfort in any part of the body can actually be caused by inflammation. It's antispasmodic. So that means that if you're dealing with cramping or movement of the intestines that's going to cause gas or anything like that, that oil is going to help with that. Peppermint is an antibacterial. It does have antibacterial properties, so it is one that I would say don't use it internally very much at all. So when you have a peppermint tea, so the peppermint essential oil does come from the leaves, exactly the same as your tea, but the amount of oil in a peppermint tea is tiny. So number one, it's not, it might be a very gentle help to you with digestive issues, but it's not going to be the same as using an oil. And also, you don't need to worry about the antibacterial properties of the oil in a tea because it's such a low quantity of it. So the other thing I want to mention with these oils is just, I guess, their effect on the emotion. So that's why I love oils, and that's why I use them and recommend them, because they are going to help you to prolong and maintain any effects of any other energetic work that you're doing. And even if you're not doing other work such as Reiki or kinesiology, then you are going to get the benefits of these oils working on all levels of your body. So physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, the four that I always love to talk about. So that is why I recommend them. So with peppermint helps us to move from feeling unfocused to feeling purposeful. It is stimulating, energizing, and positively future focused. So the only other thing about peppermint I would say is, because it is actually really stimulating, wake you up oil, I wouldn't recommend that you take it close to bedtime. So don't use it. You wouldn't it's not one you'd put on your pillow. You would use it first thing in the morning, and yeah, just not within a few hours of wanting to go to sleep. Second one I want to talk about is ginger. So ginger is very common ingredient in the food of many cultures, especially those in Asia, and that is because, once again, like peppermint, it's well recognised for its great help to the digestive system. So ginger is actually laxative and also known as a tonic, which means that it tones the muscles and tissues it comes in contact with. So kind of like that antispasmodic property. So it's going to help with just soothing the gut, stopping things churning away, reducing wind and anything like that. Ginger isn't antibacterial, so you can use it internally, but really with any essential oil, I would say don't use it internally for too long. Ginger is also a very stimulating oil, so it's a hot oil. It's really warm and nurturing, but stimulating, not calming. So again, I wouldn't recommend using this one at night. And on an emotional level, ginger helps us to move from feeling depleted to feeling sustained. So it's restorative, supportive, and warm. Third single oil I wanted to talk about is lemon. So lemon, again, another natural flavouring used by most cuisines really, and the lemon essential oil comes from the rind of the fruit. So whenever you're making a beautiful recipe that contains lemon zest, so the skin of the lemon, then you're actually putting essential oil into your dish. So that's what makes it so delicious. Just a tip with that as well. So with all of these oils, if you are going to make a recipe and you discover that you don't have your peppermint or your ginger or your lemon, as in the full fruit or root or whatever part of the plant that you're wanting to use, then you can use the oil instead. Just be very careful though, because a little oil goes a long way with flavouring. So the best way to use it is to just dip a toothpick into your oil and then stir that into your dish and then taste it and see whether you need any more. So that's really useful when you run out of that key ingredient that you don't have. So lemon is antifungal, antioxidant, antiviral, and also tonic, the same as ginger. So on an emotional level, lemon helps us to move from feeling confused to feeling rational, stimulating, clearing, and enhances innovation. So all three of those are quite stimulating, I guess, to the brain. So the fourth one, so the blend that I wanted to talk about is doTERRA's DigestZen. So I really love this oil, and this is a great one to use if you're not sure which oil to go for. So I'm going to go through a few common digestive complaints in a minute and tell you which of the oils to use. But DigestZen really you can use for anything. So it's just incredibly balancing. Whether you've got constipation or you've got diarrhea, it's going to actually help your system get back into balance. So DigestZen does have peppermint and ginger in it, but it has a few other things as well: tarragon, fennel, caraway, coriander, and anise. So that is one that I'd really recommend, but I wanted to do single oils as well because not everybody uses doTERRA. Okay, so another thing to mention is that a lot of digestive complaints are related to what is going on in our head, and as we've talked about recently, the other can be true as well. So your gut microbiome can affect what is going on in your head. Either way, it can be really useful to use essential oils that are relaxing and calming, as well as the ones that are directly targeted to your digestive system. So things like lavender, what else did I want to mention? Cedarwood, sandalwood, or Melissa. You need to perhaps take out a new mortgage on your home to buy some Melissa though. It's a pretty expensive oil. But make sure that you are just maintaining good general emotional health by looking after your relaxation and your stress levels. Okay, so with oils for the digestive system, so we've spoken about the taking them internally, not a good idea to do that. Certainly for any length of time, and probably it's best avoided, and especially with digestive stuff, because it can actually upset you more. So I would recommend that you obviously you can diffuse any of the oils, and you can do that using your diffuser or your oil burner, and you can also just put it on a tissue or a hanky and breathe it in, have it with you, carry it around, put it in your car, put it in your handbag and carry it around with you so you can breathe in that oil and get that aromatic benefit. Then the other key thing, especially for the abdomen, can be really nice to massage. So if you are massaging an essential oil in, then you need to make sure you're always going in clockwise direction. So that is a clockwise on your belly. So it's always going to be one way. You can't go the wrong way if you stick with thinking about how your clock goes. So just make sure you do that. And the other thing is sometimes, however, your belly might be too sore to actually massage it. So what I would recommend is you put the oils on your feet. So thinking about reflexology and tapping into the acupressure points in the body to help affect different parts. So with your foot, if you go from the middle of your foot back to your heel, then all of that area of the foot is part of the digestive system in the reflexology practice. So you can massage your oil into your feet. So do both feet, and then you'll make sure that you're covering all of your digestive system, because otherwise if you just do one, you've only covered half your digestive system. So make sure you do that on both feet. So just like any other medication, you do need to reapply it. There is no point in using an essential oil and putting it on once and expecting that that's going to solve everything for you for the next 3 days. Essential oils get metabolized through our system about every 4 to 6 hours. So just make sure that you are reapplying it or re-putting it in your diffuser, or taking internally, as we've said before, if that's something that you're choosing to do. So the few common complaints that I wanted to mention specifically. So if you have just joined me and you've missed my stuff that I talked about before, all the properties of the oils, then feel free to have a listen back if you're interested in that. But this is really the key bit right now. So nausea and vomiting, the two that I'd mainly recommend are ginger or peppermint. And I wanted to talk about as well the metaphysical causes of all of these things. So with digestion, it tends to be things around fear and around, you need to just think about, well, what is it that I can't stomach in my life? What am I not dealing with? What am I not wanting to face? And a lot of these are around fear or rejecting something that is in your life that you're just not willing to accept and digest in your life at the moment. So nausea and vomiting, ginger or peppermint. So things to think about from a metaphysical perspective are, what are you unable or unwilling to digest? As I just said, fear of the new, the unknown or the future, and rejecting an idea or an experience. So this could be a good thing. You could be rejecting something that's negative, but just having a think about that. And if nothing comes to mind, I always like to say to people, just when you're going to sleep, put that question out there to the universe. What is it that I'm rejecting at the moment? And you might well get that answer come to you during your sleep or when you first wake up in the morning. Okay, diarrhea, peppermint or ginger are my recommendations with that as well. And again, what are you scared of in your life? What are you rejecting or fearful of? Constipation, lemon is our go-to there. And if you want to have a think about your metaphysical causes, because we always do want to tap into the underlying causes of any physical condition, because there's always going to be something emotional that's lurking in the background there. So diarrhea, what are you scared of? I beg your pardon, we're up to constipation. Lemon, what emotions are you unwilling to let go of and express? Fear of letting go of emotion in general is what is associated with constipation. So fear of letting go, basically. It makes sense. You just think about it in a logical perspective. That's what is happening when you're constipated. You're not letting go. Flatulence, ginger or peppermint, get them on. And tell you what, if you're doing the diet that I'm doing at the moment, that's what you need some of. So with flatulence, what ideas haven't you been able to digest? Or are you unwilling to digest, unwilling to explore? Are you experiencing many different emotions at once, and perhaps you have fear of unresolved circumstances or being able to not get your mind around all those different emotions? Heartburn, I'm going to recommend lemon or peppermint again. Indigestion is any of the three, so peppermint, lemon or ginger. And bear in mind as well, you can use more than one oil at once. These ones, especially peppermint and lemon, or lemon and ginger together, combine really well. The peppermint and the ginger are probably too much hot, so that's not going to be a good combination. So heartburn and indigestion I'm putting together as well, and leaving out the ginger for heartburn. So with emotional causes underlying these things, what are you unable to, unwilling to digest? Again, fear of the new, again, unknown, fear of the unknown or the future, or rejecting an idea or experience again. So there's a bit of a theme here. So again, it might be a good thing that you're rejecting this. You might be rejecting something toxic in your life. So you might just need to let that go and let that out. Sometimes we have to go through this toxic letting go stage before we get through to the other side and new beginnings. And the last one is irritable bowel syndrome. So irritable bowel is a pretty broad thing. It can cover any of those common digestive complaints and some others, and many, many people suffer from it at some point in their life, myself included. So peppermint is the best one for IBS, irritable bowel. And with irritable bowel, again, our metaphysical or emotional underlying causes that we might want to think about are, what are you holding back or suppressing? Do you need support and validation from external sources and needing that in order to be able to express yourself? Or are you holding on to negative experiences? Are you desperate to control what is going on around you? So there's definitely a theme there with all this digestive stuff about what we are able to take in and process in our lives. What's new that we're fearful of? What are we holding on to and not letting go of? So all things for you to consider and put out there when you're going to sleep tonight. Send that message out to the universe and ask to get an answer. If you want any more information from me about any of this, or there's anything else that I can help you with, please feel free to contact me directly. And if you'd like to purchase any of the oils, of course, you can purchase them through my website. And if you want any more information about those that I haven't given you in this little video, which has actually turned out to be quite long, so thanks for those people who've stuck around, then just feel free to contact me at any time. I hope you all have a lovely evening. Sleep well, get those answers from the universe. You can do it, and be well. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.